An industrial diver felt the constant pull of the umbilical, a physical bond linking them to the surface, as they began to navigate the depths without the familiar tank on their back. This moment, transitioning from self-contained breathing to surface-supplied air, is just one crucial step in a rigorous training journey designed by CEDIFOP. Many ask about the duration of CEDIFOP courses, and it's a fair question. While the total hours can shift based on specific tenders and departmental needs, following the directory of vocational training qualifications, the bedrock of our training, the unyielding demand for precise bottom times and exceptional practical quality, never changes. We've meticulously structured this practical training into 8 fundamental steps, each one monitored down to the minute.
The first 4 steps are about forging a diver's core identity, adhering to the international IDSA levels 1 and 2. First, you're learning scuba from 0 to 19 meters. This is your initial encounter with the element, where water skills are forged, buoyancy mastered, and emergency procedures become second nature, all in complete autonomy. Every minute here builds your fundamental safety.
Then we push into scuba from 20 to 30 meters. This is where the industrial dimension truly begins. Planning your bottom time becomes an iron discipline, and we closely observe your ability to operate with clarity and precision at these medium depths. The third step marks that big leap. Surface from 0 to 19 meters. The tank is gone, replaced by the umbilical. You feel that constant airflow from above for the first time, sensing the tangible link to your team. This is the true start of life on an industrial site. Finally, for this initial phase comes surface from 20 to 30 meters. This is a period of consolidation. Here, we simulate complex tasks in surface-supplied diving, demanding that your endurance and technique merge perfectly with the intricate decompression tables. But an industrial diver isn't only about underwater operations. They must command the surface with the same expertise as the bottom.
The next 4 steps are dedicated to operational logistics and the vital role of the surface operator. First, assistance with dressing. On a site, your colleague's life is literally in your hands. You learn to meticulously check every hose, every valve, every buckle of the diving system. Safety begins long before anyone enters the water, right there on the pier. Next up, technical communications. Audio connections with the surface, managed through specific panels, are mandatory for these dives. You'll master the standardized language, the discipline of transmission, and how to provide your supervisor with precise, real-time information. Then there's umbilical management. This makes you the guardian of life for your companion in the water. You learn to manage their lifeline, deftly avoiding obstacles and ensuring the diver always has the necessary freedom of movement. And finally, standby. This is the role of the rescuer. You stand ready on the pier, fully dressed and vigilant, poised to intervene in mere seconds should an emergency arise. Here, you internalize extreme responsibility towards your entire team.
The true innovation at CEDIFOP lies in our continuous, transparent control. Every single day, our instructors and assistants, all registered in the telematic repository, log your minutes of activity into dedicated software. We don't wait until the end to tell you how you're progressing. If you fall short in any step, you'll know immediately, giving you ample time during the course to adjust and make up those missing minutes. Instructors provide constant support through briefings and team rotations, specifically to keep you aligned with the class average. But be warned, proficiency must be earned in the field. If by the end of the course a student falls below the class average, even with a 20% tolerance in more than 2 of the planned steps, our regulation is unyielding. They won't be permitted to access the final exams. At CEDIFOP, you don't buy a certificate. We certify genuine documented experience rigorously recorded in your logbook. This scientific rigor culminates in our top-up course, equivalent to IDSA Level 3. Here, monitoring becomes surgical, focusing on diving times between 30 and 50 meters. We're talking about the offshore phase, initially using compressed air, then moving to saturation offshore for depths exceeding 50 meters, where the breathing mixture shifts to heliox, a blend of oxygen and helium. At these profound depths, there's absolutely no room for error. An OTS trained at CEDIFOP already possesses 80% of the experience needed for the inshore level. The remaining 20%, mandated by law, is secured through the inshore diver course. To further amplify the value of this certificate, we've also integrated an underwater welder certification into this path. Upon completing the course with a double final exam, students can undergo evaluation for the underwater welder certification, adhering to the UNI-EN ISO 15618-1 standard.
This specific certification is unique in Italy because it takes place in salt water, that is, directly in the sea. Combined with the Professional Qualification Certificate of Inshore Air Diver, which permits registration in the first level of the Sicily region's telematic repository, it truly qualifies you to operate in the demanding inshore field. The underwater welder part, however, will be explored further soon, with another podcast entirely dedicated to this certification. For now, it's crucial to understand that CEDIFOP reserves access to the final test for the underwater welder certification, which is paired with the Inshore Diver Professional Certificate, only for those who meet the registration requirements for the telematic repository of the Sicily region, specifically at the minimum inshore level, as per Regional Law Number 97 of 2016.
If you arrive at CEDIFOP with OTS training obtained elsewhere, but without a sufficient number of dives compared to what we perform in our OTS courses, you'll need to repeat the basic pathway. This isn't because your previous certificate is invalid, but because the content, particularly the mandatory dives required by IDSA teaching, as cited in DPRS number 31 of 2018, are insufficient. The decree clearly specifies that the bottom times acquired by the end of the pathway must align with those defined in Chapter 4, Section 2, Table 6, IDSA Level 1 plus IDSA Level 2, or in Chapter 2, Section 1, Table 3, IDSA Level 1 plus IDSA Level 2 of the IDSA standards from April 14, 2014. These bottom times must find a suitable match in the individual logbook. Choosing CEDIFOP means investing in a path where every minute is a certified step towards your global career. The numbers never lie. If this insight resonated with you, please consider sharing it with someone who dreams of making diving their future.